Kristina J. I'm a relationship, life purpose, confidence, and happiness life coach, guiding emotionally abused women towards more desirable future without feeling guilty, and helping them to get back their power, courage, and confidence, and discover their new life's purpose. I have started this channel as my ministry and want to share some valuable information about different types of abuse and possible steps the victim could take to break the abusive cycle and to stand up for what is right and to heal, move forwards to a brighter future that God has prepared for her. I'm aware that there are thousands of different well-known life coaches and motivational speakers, counselors that are talking and creating a content about healthy and abusive relationships. And I'm just a little droplet in all the ocean of this, but I strongly believe that each person brings in something unique to the content he or she creates and shares. I do not see my channel worthy of love growing that fast just yet, and sometimes I'm thinking to myself, you know what, you should just stick to your one-on-one coaching and stop creating the YouTube content. But then I hear that tiny still voice inside of me saying, keep on doing it. What you are doing, Kristina, you are needed out there too. Do not give up, continue putting your heart into it, be yourself, share, talk from your experience, connect with some people out there too. So here I am today again, and today I want to share some insights on how to become brave and confident woman in the face of abuse. I want to talk about few steps that you could possibly take to show up as a stronger, braver, and more confident version of yourself in your toxic or abusive relationships. I have created quite a few videos on toxic relationships and different types of abuse, and today I'm kind of opening a new chapter, a new playlist of my videos about moving from victim's mode to survivor and thriver, about healing and becoming a courageous, happy, and strong woman. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do and help it grow. You're thinking that you can change a partner in your relationship is a myth. If you want to change, if you want that change in your life, if you want to end the toxic cycle and start living differently, abundantly, the change must start from you. You need to learn to get back your power and confidence that actually was stolen from you by your abusive partner and was changed into guilt and fear. You need to step out of that victim's mode and move forward one step at a time. In order to grow, to learn, to get back your power and confidence, courage, you need to be determined to invest in your time in it. If you are really stuck in a toxic relationship and the atmosphere where you live is poisonous to your mental and emotional health, you might want to consider separating from the abusive partner for some time and start working on yourself in a peaceful environment while not dealing with his direct abuse during that period of time when you will be investing in yourself, healing, and growing as a stronger version of yourself. If separation is not an option, you need to devote at least 1 hour a day for your personal growth, for loving yourself and working on yourself. I want to mention those few steps today which you can take in order to appear as a braver and more confident woman in the face of toxic or abusive relationship. So number 1, prioritize yourself and love yourself. This one is not an easy one for those of us who are empaths, givers, fixers, and people pleasers, because we think we have to give all of us to others. That was what I believed most of my life. Myself, and maybe you too, have been investing all the time, all the energy in being loving, caring, and submissive wife, wonderful chef in the kitchen, selfless mom, caring daughter and a friend, excellent employee, and barely ever had time to stop and think about myself, my needs, my quality time with myself. I thought that taking care of myself was being kind of like selfish, and I could not afford such a luxury. I am a busy Christian woman. I'm a busy mom. But all that thinking was actually a faulty thinking. I had to relearn, to rewrite my story, to change my limiting beliefs and start to love myself. From now on, you also can learn to be intentional and take care, not just about others, but also yourself, and nurture your inner being. You can learn to be still and be mindful of your surroundings, relax, pray and meditate, read and study, say positive affirmations to yourself, go for nature walks and do breathing exercises, do something that brings you joy, find a new hobby or get back into an old one, rediscover yourself and do not feel guilty about it. Even the Bible teaches us that we need to love God with all our hearts and our neighbor as ourselves. But do we love ourselves though? Acknowledge your feelings. It is very important to acknowledge how you feel in your relationship. Try your best not to lie to yourself or your partner. Do not hide your true feelings out of fear because you are being afraid to be judged or condemned. Feelings is a part of who we are, and they are important. They play a very important role in our lives. If you are treated not right in one or the other situation throughout the day, and your gut is telling you that, you can feel that in your body, in your mind. Therefore, listen to those feelings. Do not ignore them. Do not brush under the rug. For example, you can say it loud to yourself. What he did was insensitive, rude, and that made me feel unappreciated, rejected, and not important. I am angry right now, and I have right to be, but I will not allow myself to be stuck in that anger. I will process everything. I will pray, meditate, go for a walk, calm down, and then we'll talk to my partner. We are not doing a favor to ourselves if we just ignore the feelings and pretend that everything is kind of okay when it is the opposite. Actually, it is not even close to be okay. Therefore, acknowledge your feelings to yourself and be brave enough to communicate about it to your partner. How he's gonna take it or respond to it, it is not in your power to control. But it has to be done though. You need to speak out. Number 3. Deal with your fears. Do not stop them. This one is the big topic by itself and worth creating a separate video on it, but I will mention a few things shortly. Mostly you are showing up as a weak partner in your abusive and toxic relationships because of different fears you have. If you keep them stuffed inside, you will not be able to emerge as a stronger version of yourself. You will be trapped, not seeing the way out. The hidden fears that we have usually are coming out later into surface from time to time, and they can show up as different types of anxieties and depressed moods and hopelessness and helplessness. And I've been there. I was trying to pretend that everything was fine, everything was okay. I was trying to stuff everything deep inside and not to worry about that, pretend that everything is okay. But then those fears would come out as anxiety, as a very depressed mood, and I felt hopeless and helpless, and I didn't see the way out. So therefore, it's very important to deal with those fears. Do not be afraid to look within yourself and pull them one by one at a time. Example, I'm afraid to communicate to my abusive partner about his toxic behaviors. This is your fear, right? I want to, but I just cannot. I have that fear that it will not go well. What if he's gonna get mad? What if he will leave me after talking to him? What if I will end up alone? Okay, so this is my fear, and how do I handle it? Think, is it helping me that I am being quiet and not communicating? Well, no, it doesn't. Does it feel good to want to talk and then stop myself from it and not do that? Does that feel good? No. What can I do to overcome that fear? So maybe I can create a plan for having a conversation with my spouse, prepare for it, get more confident. Yes, that sounds good, but what if he's gonna not like it? Well, that is okay. It is not up to me to control his reaction. Well, what is the worst scenario? He will dislike it, get mad, and leave me, well, that means he does not care about me and my feelings. I am not that important in his life. He is not demonstrating a healthy love. He does not want to change. So if he leaves, that is his choice, which I cannot control. It is just a simple example, but even talking through it, you probably notice how that huge fear that it was in the beginning kind of shrank at the end. It is very, very important to deal with your fears in the face of abusive relationships so you could get back that confidence and courage. Number 4, get rid of self-blame, guilt, and shame. Guilt, shame, and blame, they are playing a major role in you being stuck in your unhealthy relationships, and they just simply paralyze you. We need to learn to stop blaming ourselves and be carrying the guilt sign wherever we go. You need to remind yourself daily, you are not responsible for the unhealthy patterns of your toxic partner. You are not responsible for the abuse. As long as you will continue to blame yourself for this relationship, for the things that you have not caused, the things you cannot control, you will carry the load of that blame and will be stuck. Blame is the sister of the shame, and shame will keep you stuck as well. You need to remember that abuse actually is not couple's issue. It is not lack of communication. It is the choice of a toxic partner to treat you poorly and abuse you. No amount of loyalty, kindness, tolerance, and patience, a prayer will bring the miraculous change in your partner. Today is that day when you need to stop blaming yourself and feeling guilty for this unhealthy relationship and decide to show empathy, tolerance, patience, and loyalty to yourself. Choose to love yourself. When you start blaming yourself or feeling guilty, shift your thoughts from that and remind yourself that it is not your fault that you are here, that you are being abused. Number 5, find a good counselor, therapist, or life coach. And it is really wonderful if a survivor of a toxic relationships can afford seeing a good therapist or life coach who can help to navigate throughout the toxic relationship, can help to deal with negative self-talk and different fears and guilt and shame, give some tools that could be used to build a stronger version of yourself in your relationship. Well, if you are on the very tight budget and cannot afford counseling or coaching, you can always listen to different speakers on YouTube for free, and you can learn a lot from that. That's how I started my healing journey and discovering more and more about healthy and not healthy relationship, about abusive cycle and toxicity, in relationships. So you can set a time in a week for your counseling session or time to listen to YouTube content or different podcasts, webinars on healthy relationships and self-growth. That is very important. Number 6, learn to how set some healthy boundaries, enforce them, and follow through the consequences. Boundaries are the bodyguards to your standards for how you expect to be treated, and they are an extension of who you are and an important part of treating yourself with dignity and respect, says Donna Morningstar. You need to decide how you expect to be treated, asserting yourself if your partner crosses that boundary, and taking an action if he continues to cross that line. As well, you continually need to check in with yourself emotionally to see if any boundaries need to be evaluated. Setting boundaries at first might feel exhausting, like you having to fight some battles, and it feels like you are a bad guy by saying no or not allowing your partner to walk over you or mistreat you. But over time, it gets easier. Eventually, you will become more confident in setting and enforcing the boundaries, and it will become a part of who you are. And number 7, learn better communication skills. Do not argue, do not blame, do not try to prove you are right and he's wrong. Do not engage in heated conversations, rather detach. Speak calm and in love. Watch your body language Use I statements instead of you, and take a break if needed and get back to the conversation later. That is very important, how we communicate. And number 8, learn to present yourself as more confident woman to your partner and those around you. You can learn to use a confident tone of voice. You can learn to look directly into person's eyes. You need to learn to watch your body's posture, shoulders back, and smile. That adds some confidence. And of course, the other thing, it's very important to set those boundaries and enforce them. Number 9, that is for Christian women. I would recommend really seeking God's wisdom and His guidance. That's very important. Have your devotional time, study Bible and pray. Be still and try to listen what God has to tell you through a scripture reading, through a thought that you received, through the other person. Ask God to help you be brave, strong, confident, and courageous woman. And you need to learn. You just need to learn to get back that your power and confidence in your relationship and to stand up for what is right. Most probably your toxic partner will not like the changes in you because he sees a confident woman as a threat to his fragile ego, to his entitlement and control. Therefore, usually abusive partners really want you to stay the way you were so they can squeeze you into the box that they have built for you, so they can treat you the way they want you to treat, so they can control you and diminish you, manipulate you, and continue abusing you. If you are emerging as a stronger version of yourself, they usually start blaming you of being selfish and rude and the one who's destroying marriage and feminist. You can check my video on that and the link is above. But you need to learn those steps to grow into more confident woman every day and fight against that toxicity. Eventually, the changes will take place in your relationship, whether your partner will accept the new and confident you and will be ready to change himself to invest in your relationship, or your relationship will end and you will have to heal and learn to move on without your toxic partner besides you. I will talk more about confidence and boundaries, overcoming fear and guilt in my future videos, and I'm really looking forward to that and getting excited about my future topics. If you wanted to book one-on-one session with me, check my website worthyoflove.ca or find me on Instagram at Kristina J Coach. Also check my previous videos on financial abuse, verbal and emotional abuse, and please subscribe to my channel and help it grow. Take care, and remember, you are worthy of love, beautiful and courageous woman, a wonderful daughter of God. See you next time, and bye for now.